Good morning, friends, and welcome to the pre-market view. US markets were marginally down, and we had extremely good services data coming out from both US and Eurozone, and that is leading to some kind of a concern that the tapering could actually start off earlier than what the market was expecting, as we had much better than expected jobs data as well as services data, and the only recent non-farm payroll data was slightly below expectations. So one of the Fed members has indicated that the tapering should start very soon, and that has actually led to some kind of a panic reaction in most of the markets in Asia today morning. So when we look at the Asian markets today, Japan is down almost about 1.5%. Same is the case with Hang Seng, which is down almost about 1.7%, and most of the other Asian markets are down about 1%, and SGX Nifty is suggesting that we are going to start off on a downtick of almost about 45 points. In terms of flows, friends, FIs were net buyers to the tune of only about 33 crore. The domestic institutions were sellers to the tune of about 330 crore, and in the index futures, FIs were net sellers to the tune of about 360 odd crore. Back home, our markets managed to close with marginal gains, but the overall sentiment, the breadth of the market is clearly indicating that there is definitely a lot of weakness in the markets. And if you look at the news flow around, a lot of companies in the real estate and other smaller SME size companies, there is going to be an increased risk of some kind of a default, and that could lead to a much higher NPL for the banking sector. And looking at the kind of currency levels that we are used to seeing around about 61 or thereabouts, the threat of a downgrade in the economy is looming large, because we feel that if there is a tapering in the next about 1 or 2 months in the US, then it would definitely affect flows into the emerging markets, coupled with the fact that the currency is on a downward bias and the growth expectations are going to be muted, or there could be a downward revision in the earnings given the way the NPL cycle is turning worse. Things are not looking great. Watch out for some important technical levels. If 5650 or thereabouts, if those levels are broken, then we could see a sharp sell-off in the index, because so far what we have seen is that most of the index heavyweight stocks are holding out well. The carnage has happened in the mid caps and the small cap space, but now if these levels are broken, you could see the solid stocks which have been holding out so very well could actually correct quite sharply. So that looks like the scenario which could unfold over the next few days. On that note, let me invite Sadhna to take us through important F&O cues, data and strategies that we can have in the F&O markets.
Good morning, friends. Let's have a view on derivatives. Yesterday, markets kickstart the day on positive terrain, and somehow it managed to close with a marginal gain of 0.32%. In this period, we have seen market participants have squared off their short positions, as around 1.08 lakh shares were reduced in open interest, and Nifty futures premium increased from 28 odd levels to 38 points. PCR is further decreased from 0.99 to 0.98, indicating call option has added more number of shares than put option, which is clearly visible in the options activity. If we see 5700 followed by 5800 and 5900, call option has seen a good activity, whereas on lower side 5600 put option has seen a good activity. Yesterday also we have seen markets had broken the mark of 5700, but it showed some resilience at lower levels and recovered soon. But as we are trading below our weekly VWAP of 5770, overall our bias for the market is negative, and any rise can be taken as opportunity to go short. From intraday perspective, one can go short on Hindustan Zinc with a stop loss of 102.70. Thank you.
Here are the important news and events that we are tracking today. First of all, Tata Power, we are looking at a net profit of about 220 crore. In case of Crompton Greaves, we are looking at a net profit of about 68 crore. And the performance of the subsidiary, which has been reporting huge losses, is something that the market would be watching out for. Karur Vysya Bank, we are looking at a net profit of about 148 crore. In case of Wockhardt, some further negative news flow, as the Maharashtra FDA has alleged that the company has sold banned drug, and it has filed about 7 FIRs. And as per Maharashtra FDA, looking at the invoices that they have got, the company has been selling this banned drug, and that could actually be negative for Wockhardt, which has been reeling under a lot of pressure for the past many days now. And in case of BHEL, now there are indications that because of the poor performance, both the operating performance as well as the stock price, the way it is at about 130 or thereabouts, the government has actually withdrawn the divestment proposal. So that is definitely a bit of a relief, but the way the company's performance is, looks like the negative sentiment over the stock will continue. Unitech Corporate Park, a Unitech Group firm which is listed in London, has received the bids up to rupees 2700 crore from 6 companies including the Blackstone for the sale of its IT SEZ in Gurgaon. So this could be a bit of a relief for Unitech, which has been under pressure for many days, but it remains to be seen if there is any positive news on this front. If this comes about, it can provide about 10% kind of an uptick in Unitech stock in the next probably couple of days time. And in case of R Power, they have approached the CERC to revise the tariff for its UMPP in Jharkhand to rupees 2.25 per unit, which is about 25% higher than what they are getting currently. In case of CESC, the demerger of Spencer is likely to happen after Q3 of FY14. That's what the management has indicated, and they are looking at inviting strategic global retail investors without ruling out the possibility of an IPO. And in case of Coal India, the unions have again threatened to go on a strike for the 5% divestment the government is looking at doing, and that again is a bit of a negative news for Coal India. Financial technology, the government has barred even the E-series contracts which are currently running on NSCL. Remember friends, because of the almost default by NSCL on the total amount of rupees 5,500 crore in the kind of news flow which is going around, definitely there is a negative sentiment, and yesterday's press conference by the chairman has not gone down too well, because they've said that a large amount of money would be payable only over the next 5 to 6 months. So there is a uncertainty about how this entire settlement is going to pan out. So one can expect some more weakness in financial technology. One can short with a stop loss of 203 and a target of about 190 to about 185. SR Oil, some negative news, as the CBM producers may have to sell the gas at a lower price, and currently they are getting a price of almost about 10 to 14 MBTU for the gas. So one can short SR Oil with a stop loss of 48.25 and a target of about 45. And Educomp Solutions, there is a default and even the company has not been able to pay salaries to their employees since last about 3 months as per the report. So one can short Educomp with a stop loss of 22 and a target of about 20. That's it from all of us friends. Have a great trading session and see you tomorrow at the same time.